I just wanted to make a quick video to warn people about the businesses on Indeed. I've put my resume out on Indeed just to see if I could drum up any business on there, and got a couple of replies from them, and thus far the replies have been nothing but scams. The last place that contacted me, I just got off the phone with them. Uh, the very first thing that they wanted me to do, just to let you know how they work, they made me a job offer that sounded like it would be something right up my alley. Now, I contacted them to, uh, send them my resume on Indeed, and they contacted me and set up a Zoom meeting. And the very first thing that they wanted when they got into the Zoom meeting was to see the screen on my computer. I didn't really know where they were going with this. I figured maybe they just wanted to see me type. Could have been anything. Maybe they wanted to see my desktop, see if I'm an organized user, or I didn't have any idea. Quite frankly, I don't have anything to hide on it, so I just went ahead and let them view my screen. The very first thing they did was told me to go to their portal for their company and to start entering in my information. Now, my radar went off when they never asked me anything about my skills. They never questioned anything relevant to the position. When I started to try to steer the conversation over to that, they just wanted me to go to their web portal and to enter in this information. And as I started to type in my address, because this was the first page of the portal, it was asking me, for my name and address and things that are on my resume. So at that point, my radar had not really gone off. But he started to prime me for the next page. He's like, now on the next page, you're going to have to type in your social security number and yada yada. And immediately I started to get that weird feeling. And he's like, well, you can turn off your screen if you want when you go to this page. And I checked to see if the web page was secured, and it is. But I work in IT, and I know that to make a secured web page is absolutely nothing. It means nothing to the actual security of the site. I mean, my communication between my computer and their computer, I'm sure, is secure. Is the information that I'm typing in being stored in clear text on their computer? Of course it is. I mean, something like a social security number, they claim that they're going to use it, for, 1099 purposes. So if I had to pick something from this to be wary of when you go in there, is anyone who mentions like a 1099 position. Any company that doesn't immediately start to question, your skills, your qualifications, education, the common things that a employer may ask of you. Red alert should be going off. These are these are weird times, and people out there are more than willing to pay to go onto a site like Indeed in order to get marks. I'm just fortunate enough that I'm not desperate enough to go ahead and do it. I imagine some people, they see a position that looks very good to them, a position that they're more than qualified for, maybe a dream position, and it just seems like it's just going so easy. All I have to do is enter in my information, and bada boom, bada bang, it's just going to be done. If I were to give the scammers a piece of advice, it would have been to ask a bunch of pointed questions about the tasks and to have more information at hand. I wanted to know, do you have clients in this area? How far am I going to have to commute to the clients? You're talking about 60 cents a mile. They threw out some very, I wouldn't say they're great, but they threw out some numbers for me, the very first time they called on the phone. That they also had accents. Now, I'm not trying to say that everyone who has an accent, as bad or evil or anything like that. But what drove my radar up to that next level was when both of them had an accent. You know, both the initial person who called me, it almost felt like a first point of contact, like a field recruiter. That gentleman spoke to me on the phone for a few minutes, and then scheduled the meeting for today, the very next day. That I won't single out the company. You know, there's a chance I could be wrong. Maybe they're totally honest. If so, I just find it weird that they didn't want to know more about me or my skills or what I've done or basically anything. You know, it felt like their primary goal was to get the information out of me as quickly as they could. Uh, just glad I'm smart enough not to do that. But this is a warning to everyone else out there. Don't trust the businesses on Indeed. If you're applying for remote work, radar, you know, that there are some evil people out there, you know, and that they're just looking to take advantage. This is my rant on the subject. Kind of an off-topic video for the channel. Just something that came up. I will say that I think it's crappy to prey on people who are just looking for work, you know. The funny thing is they did have a list of things that they were looking for, you know, that made sense, you know. If you were just new in the industry or something, you might just go along with it. I don't know. The other thing that threw up an alarm was their main focus of their business was VoIP telephone systems. I'm not saying that in itself is bad, but there really isn't any money in telephones anymore. I do telephone systems for people. Just for anyone out there who's considering it, VoIP.ms, you can go on there and go set up your own account on there. You can use all their servers and everything. You can set up your IVR. You can set up your phones, everything. If you're not connected to the internet, then you wouldn't have phones anyway. So it doesn't matter whether your server's inside your company or not. But well, those are my thoughts on the subject. I'll get off. I wish everyone better luck than me.